Okay, hi Cancers, and welcome to your September 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, coming on to talk to you about your beautiful month of September. Cancers, let's get comfortable. Let's pour some coffee, pour some tea, whatever you like, and talk about your beautiful, sexy month of September. I hope that you are loving it. I really like it for you. It could be kind of like chaotic, but also very giving, very nurturing, very judgmental for some of you. And it's kind of hard to interpret. Like, a lot of this stuff here can be interpreted, in the month of September as like inconvenient. Okay, there can be what feel to be inconvenient experiences coming in. There can be trappings like debt, like judgment, from others or towards others, poverty consciousness, basically any type of extreme ideology about money, about people, about endeavors, about the past. Okay, all of this is going to be something that has to shed off right now. And I feel that there has to be almost this new level of neutrality coming in for your sign that gives you the world. Okay, so wow, it worked out great. It didn't work out awesome. Let me move on. Like there almost has to be this like nullified, more neutral approach to basically free you from the confines of overthinking things, of not letting things go, of feeling trapped. Eight of Swords has been coming up for a lot of signs this month, and it's not a card that I've been seeing a lot this year so far. It's been very rare. So it says to me that the month of September, like, people have kind of set themselves up in situations that are not the most free, or not the most affordable, or not the most clear situations either. Like, it might look really good on paper, but the meat and potatoes of the experience are really cumbersome and stupid, but it like looks good on paper. Or like the other way around, like it's really pivotal, it's really changing your life, but it seems insignificant to other people. These sort of paradoxes, right, have to almost be something that are win-win situations for you. I think you can do it. I think that you can't necessarily rely on other people to see the way you see it. 5 of Wands coming up, 8 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles reversed. You've got 2 fives. 5 is the most discordant number in the tarot. And not to worry about it. I mean, when you have 2 fives come up, it usually just means that we've kind of elected a period of time with which to do an overhaul, or to begin the process of disseminating what we do and don't want in our lives. And that's, of course, going to come through the presentation of something a little bit, wild for some people. Wild things can happen in September to you. You're one of the only signs there. The waves are moving really gregariously, in the 2 of Pentacles. And you have the World and Judgment as your 2 major arcana cards, which says to me that you have an overhauled ideology, or maybe a change in, like, I don't know, maybe there's a change in political beliefs, or a change in religious beliefs, or a change in some type of like foundation of your life that could happen in the month of September. And that could be leading you to ask a lot of different questions, like, wow, I never thought about poverty in the way that I think about it now. Wow, I never thought about prosperity in the way that I think of it now. You might start to see poverty as like more of a free experience, and prosperity as more of a trapping experience. And that's not right. Okay, it's not really correct, but you can kind of start to really look at things in a very creative, to put it nicely, way, in a sort of very abstract and what seems to be refined in the moment, but is actually like a little bit like precarious. So like the glorification of poverty, or the like, also the utter rejection of prosperity, or just a complete like sort of void experience where, I'm not really at all concerned with the numbers on the sheet, or the numbers in the account, or the or any of that stuff. So the latter might be the best for you right now. Though I think that what really needs to happen in the month of September is a new catalyst, okay? So are things bland? Are things like passive aggressive? Are things kind of hard to define? If they are, I would definitely recommend that any cancers start to make some changes in their lives and start to mix things up a little bit and have a little bit more fun, okay? Because basically, like, I don't know, the people in your life don't feel super safe, okay? This isn't gonna be, I don't mean that like your family or the people around you are unsafe. What I'm saying is that like new people in your life, or basically some of the I almost want to say average energetic experience of those sharing space with Cancer people right now is very fluctuated and like very insecure. So you might have to be picking up the slack for other people. You might have to be like bailing people out, or having to like loan people money, or having to like work through all these, you know, issues with other people in your life, and like trying to like guide them or help them to make decisions. And that by the end of the month has got to be, I don't know, at least seen as some type of philanthropy on your part or something. I don't know, like it feels like you need to do more or something, or it feels like you've got to kind of level up and not waste so much time, or you've got to stop thinking so much too, and like start doing things. Like there's got to be, and as a Cancer person myself, I mean, I'm not Cancer sun, but I've got a lot of Cancer. Actually by the end of August for myself, like I'm already totally like in action, and I'm like busy for like 12 to 14 hours of the day. And I've got to say that has really started to initiate a certain healing process that was good. And I know that it's not sustainable. I know that by the end of the year, I need to like slow it down a little bit, but it's good for now. And I almost recommend it for you. Like you need to like work out more, or you need to stop like feeling sad about things. Like you need to just like get yourself together, Cancer. You need to like move on from it, and you need to stop also like playing up people who are not good in your experience as like some type of like archetypal healing presence, or some type of like good presence in your life, when like their actually their presence is a complete and utter kind of like stalemate experience for you. But because of the need to have some type of like either appearance to other people of like wow, or having some type of the need to have some kind of false pretense of security through like relationships, or through jobs, or through status, any of that stuff, basically is working more against you than for you at this point in time. It's got to be real, okay? The person that I feel that is like a new friend for a Cancer, or the person that a Cancer is now marrying or something, has to really be real and not, I mean, it sounds very simple when we're saying it out loud, but you'd be surprised. It's like how much a Cancer during chaotic times like these wants to create a semblance of something traditional, ordinary, and secure, even to like just like upset other people if the vibrational capacity is very low. If it's high, it's more of a like sort of honoring of the family. It's an honoring of the line of nostalgia within the family, like wow, we've traditionally leveled up or something. I think that independence might be better for you this month. Let's talk about your week to week experience. Week number 1, you've got the 8 of Swords rooted down by 6 of Cups. Something that you're like in your mind, and I feel that like many Cancer people are like, I don't know how I'm doing this. Like, how is any of this even working? Like, why did I go and spend hours with someone like that? Like, there's kind of a haplessness about it. Like, I feel that people now expect me to pay for their meals every time I go somewhere. I feel that every time that I'm sharing space with this friend group, that we have to talk about how difficult our lives are, that there is no choice but to commiserate over the tone that lady took with us last Thursday. You know, like, oh, cancer. It's so frustrating to like get into that place where we're basically like friendships or connections are built on anger and the enjoyment of consuming another person's rage or consuming another person's difficult, sad story. Okay, it's kind of like emotional vampirism in a way where, and it can go the other way too. Like people who, basically any relationships that are forged on one type of dialogue or one type of like theme of conversation. Like when we get together in this friend group, we only talk about how bad our lives are. When we get together in that friend group, we only talk about, you know, politics. When we get together in that friend group, all we talk about is, I don't know, like our family trauma or something. It's like, if that's how you want it to be, you almost need to like join AA types of groups or something, or like find actual groups that are themed that way. But it's crazy how I've seen so many cancers in these places where basically they have different friendships that are themed friendships, themed romantic relationships, like in a polyamorous context even sometimes. This is odd for Cancer, but it's a weird thing about this Aquarian time where it's like with that romantic relationship, I get to explore this side of my personality, and then with this romantic relationship over here, I get to like, you know, be the mild, tender person. Then with that romantic relationship person, I get to be very domineering and pushy, and I get to try to change them. And then with this romantic relationship over here, I get to like, you know, really cry a lot and pull myself down. And then in that relationship over there, I get to experience what it's like to be on the other side of exactly that. And it's very odd to me. It's very odd to me how undynamic sometimes these relationships are. And I think all the water signs are going through this: Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, where rather than each relationship being a dynamic experience, it's like each relationship is a manufactured role-playing experience or something. And it's really, really tacky to me. It's something that I've seen even in people close to me's experience, but even in my own experience, like even in totally like acquaintance relationships, it can go this way too. Like where, okay, to this acquaintance, I'm like that very like technologically smart person. And then to that acquaintance, I'm like this really like bubbly, you know, sort of thoughtless person. And this acquaintance over here, I'm like a evil genius or something. And it's crazy how people want to identify so strongly right now. Like they know someone for 30 seconds and they think, okay, that person is like a bubbly person. They're very they're not very smart. They're like very attractive though, and they work in banking, and that's their identity. And I know them. I've known them for 30 seconds, and they never want it to change. You know what I mean? And this is happening in romantic relationships. This is happening in platonic relationships. This is happening across the board, where we want people to be those 2D cutouts, and we don't want dynamic relationships. Like, unbeknownst to us, where we could have that one romantic relationship where we get to explore all these sides of ourselves. Unbeknownst to us that we can have shifting perceptions in friendships. Unbeknownst to us that we don't have to carve out such... This is a control problem at the end of the day. I think it's like we're afraid to not totally know someone, or we're afraid to be more than what they think we are, or something, what these other people that we're around think we are. And we don't want to reach out. We want to look at our phones. We want to sit in a huge crowd of people and all look at our phones. You know, it's like very... it's such a nightmare. Anyway, the first week is going to kind of really show this if it's there. So keep an eye out on these like sort of weird new relationship dynamics that are just starting to come through here in September of 2021. Keep an eye out for it. One way or another, first week, you got to kind of break free from something. And you got to make sure you're not fostering too many reliances either to you or to someone else. Week number 2, Knight of Wands, rooted down by the world. Everything changes by the second week. You're more creative. You're ending a cycle. You are very called upon, I think, to do some kind of creative project at that time. Think about what your heart wants. Think about what you're involved in. Think about what you have time for. Think about what you'd rather be doing too. Like if you're really signed up for a lot of stuff, you're like, I don't know, getting your degree. You're like getting a new job. You're moving. I don't know. What, as you're involved in these things that you thought were the pinnacle of your own experience, would you rather be doing? That's going to be what your calling is, probably, or what your purpose is. Now, it doesn't mean like go crazy and like give up everything that you're working on, because we have to build legacy at this time if we're smart. Okay. So keep that in mind, but it's like just good to see how we work. We really get a keen look at our wiring right now, at our sort of deeper inner tendencies. Can we follow through on what we signed up for without being really angry about it and daydreaming about other possibilities? That's an interesting quality to have. Very, very, very powerful and strong. Or if we are thinking about those other things, those other purposes, can we give to ourselves the quality of choosing those purpose-oriented experiences over monotonous ones, or making space for both? One way or another, you are having probably a creative level up. So maybe before you thought, okay, I need to like start a new business. And then now you're thinking, okay, now actually it's not about the business. It's about what that business would have created. And maybe this isn't something that needs to be corporatized. Maybe this is actually something that needs to be put into the public domain or something, or I don't know, like, or perhaps it's completely the other way around. But it seems that there's a shift in how our magic is being voiced, whether that's in the context of like public domain, public speaking, or the context of like small businesses or corporations, or the context of like academia, you know. That seems to be taking a shift there in the second week of September. Week 3, 5 of Wands, rooted down by the 2 of Pentacles. Okay. You can't decide how you want to voice problems, or how you also want to compete perhaps with your voice as well. There's maybe like the debate team. That's kind of like the energy of the debate team in the third week of September. If you wanted to like join the debate team, or if you wanted to, I don't know, go and hang out with that group of people that you only talk about politics with, that could be interesting during that time. And any type of competitive sports would also be good, as it feels like the body needs to really start to get itself together as well in the third week of September. So as we're thinking about that, you know, what do we need? What do we need? Fourth week, you've got Judgment rooted down by the 5 of Pentacles reversed. So you are overcoming a poverty consciousness issue. You are overcoming, maybe just coming right out of poverty during that time. Maybe you are waking up to your true abundance, to your true prosperity. And the fourth week is going to do that in some way. It's going to totally dispel like any lack. So that's cool. You're going to, and any time that you start thinking like you got like, say you've actually got plenty of money and you're feeling like really put upon, or you're feeling like really lacking, or in some way, it's going to really cause a struggle for mindsets like that. Like, I feel that all Cancers are abundant right now, and they're all challenged to wake up to their abundance and their prosperity. And let's talk more about that in your extended reading, Cancer. Let's talk about seeing your abundance, working with it in a way that honors you and your family. And then also I want to talk about freeing yourself up a little bit more as well, because something does feel a bit confining. So that will be available in the description box below and in the center of your screen now. I do bonus weekly forecasts on Patreon, along with a bunch of other content. So be sure to come over and check it out, Cancers. I would love to have you over there. We'll be talking about you for a lot of time here on Patreon. So let's do that. Much love. Bye.